Hey guys, Crappie Kirby. It's Tuesday, May 14th, and we're heading out to Hillsdale to guide a guy I've never met. It's a beautiful day. We've got a break in the rain. We still have flooded conditions on the lake, but hey, we got Garmin LIvescope. We've got BnM Poles. We've got crappie magnet lures. We're going to catch some crappie. I'm pretty confident. Before we get out on the lake, wanted to share a great story that I had happened yesterday. I was supposed to guide some Kansas City Chiefs players, but I almost had to cancel on them because my boat wasn't working properly. I was getting the dreaded 6 beep Mercury warning light, and it was taking my engine and dumping it down to only 2,000 RPM, so I could only go like 5 miles per hour. So I looked online, got a couple of quick fix ideas about how I could bypass that actual warning light or warning beep and get my boat up and running. But I'm so glad I didn't do that. I took my boat to Bass Pro Shop's tracker service department, and the manager Tim told me that, hey, just because you're getting 6 beeps doesn't mean it's one of those 4 sensors: the map sensor, the mat sensor, the TPI sensor, and the EUM sensor, all of which I have no idea, but I was fully prepared to unplug them so that I could take those Chiefs fishing. He told me by doing that you could actually cause more damage to the engine, and I'm so glad I didn't. Took the boat in at 8 a.m. They literally had me out of there by 8:30. All right, they hooked the boat up to the computer, and they found that it was a shorted wire in my tilt trim. You know, basically the engine goes up and down, and there's a couple wires that sometimes will fall into the wrong place. And it was literally a wire that had shorted out. They replaced the wire, took all of 15 minutes, got out of there for less than 40 bucks. Big thanks to Tim, Tom, Randy, and that entire staff of service engineers at Bass Pro Shop Tracker Service Department. Thank you so much. With that Mercury 150 engine, the 4-stroke EFI, you take that engine for granted because it starts every single time. I've had it since 2013. I fish it almost every other day, and probably every boat I ever own is going to have that engine on it. So thank you so much. So today I'm excited. We're going to be finding the crappie with the Panoptics. We're going to be using B&M Poles, and I've kind of switched my pole selection up a little bit. I'll tell you more about that on the water. But I've gone to an 8-foot super stiff instead of my trusted 6-shooter 6. And the reason I've done that is because we're in flooded conditions, and sometimes those crappie will bite all the way up to the boat. So what I'm doing is with that 8-foot pole, when I get up to the boat, I'm just kind of going all the way around the boat, and I'm hammering crappie right there at the boat. So we're going to be throwing fin spins, which is very similar to like the Blakemore Roadrunner. It's the crappie magnet version of the Roadrunner. It has a dart head, and they've got some new colors out. The premier color that I've been throwing, and I got behind a tractor here, but the premier color that I've been throwing, because the shad at Hillsdale have a really iridescent, glittery purple look to them, is this color right here. It's called the Therapist. What a great name for a crappie lure, Therapist. Sometimes I feel that this crappie fishing is my therapist. But if you take a look at it, it's got a really glittery purple body, which looks just like the shad at Hillsdale. I've been killing on this. I've ran out of like 7 packages of these. So Jeff Smith, please send me more. Therapist. Other colors: Purple Pearl, that's a cool color. Blake's Glow, okay, some chartreuse for stained water. Butler Gold, I really like this color. The contrasting colors are very complimentary to catching fish. This is an insane color. When I ran out of the Therapist color, I've been going to this color. It's basically a real glittery body color. All right, take a look at that with a great curly chartreuse tail there. Crappie Magnet series, and it's called Mardi Gras. Everybody loves Mardi Gras. So, and then this color absolutely destroyed them at Parsons Lake this winter, and it's called Candy Corn Flash. It's got a really candy corn color there and glittery flash on the chartreuse tail. So we're going to be throwing some of those, predominantly the Therapist We're coming up on the lake right now. Like I said, I'm going to be guiding with somebody I've never met, but enough talking. Let's do some fishing on the water. Here we go. Subscribe to the channel. Leave comments. Don't leave me any horror stories about your service department. I don't want to hear them. Let's keep it positive and be happy about this beautiful day that God's blessed us with. And let's get some Kansas crappie. Here we go. Okay, so we had an incredible day guiding this guy named Greg. We caught a lot of fish, not where we thought they would be. You know, we thought they might be still shallow for the spawn, but we actually found them in 28 feet of water. So I called my buddy Gary Robinson. I told him crappie emergency. So Gary's right over there. Say hi, Gary. We're filming on the Garmin Verb 360, so you can see Gary over there. But it is video game fishing at its finest. I'm going to turn on the Garmin Verb XC that I've got mounted right to the 1040 XS, and we're going to show you dropping down and picking off these Kansas crappie at Hillsdale Lake. It's May 14th. It's a Wednesday, and it's awesome, man. The wind's picked up a little bit, so we got a light breeze, and it's positioning the boat just perfectly so that you can see the bite, which is awesome. Oh, the cork's gone. The cork's gone, Gary. You're supposed to tell me that. Oh. Nice little Kansas crappie. Keeper. 31 feet in May. Who would have thought they'd be at 31 feet? But that's the flooded conditions that we have. Nice little 11-inch crappie. I think the only way to get the true video game experience is if I drop an anchor into my brush pile there. And I don't want to do that because that'll spook those crappie out. So I'll just continue doing what I'm doing here and bebopping along. But who would have thought? Would you ever thought that these crappie would be in here in May, Gary?
Oh no.
31 feet. That's insane. Insane. So I'm using the BnM pole, the super stiff, and it's 8 feet. So if I go down to there and have my bobber stopper right there, that's immediately 16. Then it's 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, about 23 feet is where you want that bobber stopper, so that you're about 3 feet above those crappie that are suspended on trees. And you can see them suspended on trees. Look at all those fish right there, suspended on trees. And right here. And here he comes. Boom, we did it. Couple fish swarming around it. I'm lowering it right here. And I'm in the nest of them right now. Let's see what happens here. Thinking about it. There's 2 of them, 1 on each one. Boy, they must not be very hungry because they're right there. Right in that tree now. There he is, I got him. Came up on us. Boom! Little 9.5-inch Kansas crappie. Boom. I'm recording it, Gary, on the screen, on the Panoptic screen. Ooh, they're spooky. They want it. There he is. Got him. Nicer one. Got him. And a keeper crappie. A keeper crappie. Actually, he's about 9 inches. Throw him back. that's going to wrap up a pretty successful day. Hope you enjoyed that video game fishing. Big thanks to my sponsors, Garmin, Panoptix, LiveScope. Wow, we never would have caught those fish. We never would have been even fishing in that particular area if we hadn't seen them on the LiveScope. Why on earth are these crappie at 31 feet of water in May? Second week of May, makes no sense. But big thanks to LiveScope, Garmin, also BnM Poles for helping us reel them in. Thank you, BnM Poles, for all you guys do for me. And Crappie Magnets. Now today we caught a lot of littles, a lot of short black tuxedo colored males on the fin spins with curly tails. But then when we went out deep, it was the Crappie Magnet jig heads with tipped with minnows that did the real damage on all the keepers. So we'd really like to thank Jeff Smith and Crappie Magnets. So thanks everybody. Big thanks to Bass Pro Shop, Gary Robinson for fishing with me, manager of Bass Pro Shop, and once again that entire staff in the service department for keeping me on the water. Big thanks to Tim, Randy, Tom, and all the other great service engineer and technicians there at Bass Pro Shop Tracker Service Department. Keep it positive. I know it's hard to do in this crazy life that we're living, but keep it positive, put your faith in God, and you will reap the benefits, all right? So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Subscribe, leave questions, leave comments. I love answering questions. And have a great day. God bless. That's it for Crappie Kirby.